Hi trader, welcome to the weekly analysis of the Forex market. Today's focus is on the US dollar with a break pullback continuation potential. First of all though, be aware that this video is shown to a global audience but may not be suitable for everyone. Please visit admiralmarketsglobal.com, select your country of residence and contact the appropriate entity for more details. Also, please be aware that trading for exchange and global financial markets is considered high risk. Please seek the advice of an independent financial advisor for more information on that. This video is for informational and educational purposes only. By continuing watching this video, you agree with this disclaimer and you are aware of the risk involved when trading. I want to kick off today's video with AUD USD, looking at the weekly chart. We talked about this, that the breakout here, the bearish breakout of the support trend line, could indicate a retest of this bottom, and this was a pretty good strong bearish breakout candle as well. We saw a bit of retracement here, and last week with the decision of the Fed to increase the rate on the interest rate on the US, you see the nether bearish candle breaking below the pivot point. So I think that that's a good breakout and continuation. I would expect price to retest this Keltner support S1 and S2 area at around 70, 71 throughout this week. So that looks like a breakout pullback continuation on the AUD USD. On a daily chart, that looks like this. We saw a bit of a rising wedge in that pullback here, and I was looking for a zigzag. The zigzag did happen, and it just didn't go maybe as far as I thought it would, maybe 76 I thought. But anyhow, it broke through the support trend line upon the news event, and you saw that this reversal pattern indeed did occur. And now I'm looking for price to make a bit of a pullback. On the 4-hour chart, for instance, what I would like to see after this break is another pullback continuation. On the hourly, I think we could even see that a bit better. Now the pivot point could be the turning spot, but what I prefer actually is a bit deeper pullback. This momentum has been strong. We've seen basically some corrections right here and here. What I would like to see is maybe a hook back to this zone, this resistance zone, and the R1. I think that that could be an interesting resistance reversal area for a continuation of the downtrend. And if price does get to the R1 and turn, I think it could fall down to S2, S3, and make a pretty good fall from the R1. Now, if price were to go sideways and not break above the pivot and just go making basically kind of a bear flag pattern, then if price would do that and break below the bear flag, if it does something like this, for instance, then I'm also interested in trading below the bear flag towards those pivot points like S1, S2, S3. All right, next I'll take a look at the euro dollar, but first of all, this week's schedule and next week's schedule of the webinars. We have weekly recap on Mondays, the 19th, 26th, but we also have principles on range bar on Wednesday. Thursday, we have reading market emotions in price action signals. And next week, we have Tuesday, the future of the euro. And on Wednesday, we have Wolf Wave. So I think we got a lot of interesting webinars. Despite the holiday season, a lot of good stuff here to watch in the upcoming weeks. All right, now let's take a look at that euro dollar. Of course, the euro breaking below 105, 104.50. Those were major support levels, and price did respect them multiple times, but eventually price did break through those levels, and you see dating back all the way to March here, 2015. And the last time price has been this low is, well, more than a decade ago, 2003. So this is quite an amazing thing here to see, and I think that this could continue. We see strong momentum here. This has been a correction. We've talked about that for a long time, that this is just a correction within a strong momentum, and it should break to the downside and continue, and it's doing that right now. Now at this moment, I think a bit of retracement is possible on the euro dollar, just like the AUD USD as well. So pullback time, I think, and later on continuation probably, right? So looking at the daily chart right here, or the 4-hour chart, maybe even better, what I'm looking at is the continuation, and I think that price, as soon as this basically here shows a bearish candle, a respect for R1, I think that that could be already a turning spot. This looks corrective to me, this formation here, and I think that price will be, breaking through this formation, this correction, and going down lower to test 102.50, for instance, and after that, perhaps parity 100. So on hourly chart, I think important levels at this moment is the S1 and this bottom and the pivot point. I think a break of the pivot point, we can see a test of S1, the break of S1 down to S2 and this bottom, and then further. So looking at the 4-hour chart yet again, I think that I wouldn't expect price to retrace too deeply. Maybe the R2 max, it's 105, but there are broken bottoms here, right here, where I put green circles. So those broken bottoms have a good chance that they become resistance in the future. So I don't expect price to retrace deeper than the R2 and these broken bottoms. So I think that's kind of the max. If it breaks above that, I am becoming a bit more cautious of the downside. For the moment, though, the downtrend is full in force. And as long as it stays, let's say, below this 50 fib and the 61 fib region, I don't think there's any reason to doubt this pullback is just a pullback and doubt the fact that there should be more continuation of the downtrend. Regarding the pound USD, at this moment, I think also important the pivot point in S1. Here, maybe even more important than the euro dollar because there is some momentum here to the upside, and it's kind of making a bull flag at this point. So that's a bit different, I think, than the euro dollar. This formation might break to the upside. Then there should be divergence, and I think the price could turn around back at the R1, back to the downside at the R1. So it's actually trying to push right now. I think the upside is very limited. I mean, there's just a few pips there, especially from an intra-week perspective. That's a small move. But if it does reach R1, there should be some divergence on this lower time frame. But my main point is that I think for downside, it's more important that the price breaks below this pivot and the S1. And then I feel a bit more confident that price is ready to move into a more bearish mode again. It's true that price did break basically some important support lines like this one and this one. So from my perspective, this is still, as the main theme of this video is going to prove, this is looking like a break pullback continuation. But I think there will be more confirmation if price breaks through these levels for a move down to S2, S3 here. This is, by the way, Admiral Markets pivot point. So anyone who has MT4 Supreme Edition, you can add Admiral Market pivot point, and you'll have the same levels as myself. That's part of the MetaTrader 4 Supreme Edition once again, and it has a lot of extra features, including this indicator, but others as well, like the Keltner band that I use here on the chart. Very useful. So I think that basically 123.25, 125, those could be targets to the downside upon the breakout. So far though, this is looking like a break pullback continuation. Last but not least, we have the dollar yen. That is in a very strong uptrend. Talked about that for quite a while, and I was bullish, remained bullish, even though there were some corrections, because the dollar yen, or the yen in general, but specifically even the dollar yen, does not correct deeply once it's trending, once there's a big bullish momentum. There were a lot of traders looking for reversals in here. I myself kept the vision on the bullish side. That so far has proven to be a good decision. And I think that will remain for the moment. I don't see any difference yet. I still think that price could push higher, basically bouncing off the pivot point to R1, to R2, and continue with that trend. On the 4-hour chart, this is again looking like a pullback. I think that as long as this price stays above these fibs, I'm not worried about the uptrend at this point. And I think that 4-hour engulfing twins here or bullish candle could be a confirmation, a price action confirmation of a bounce for a continuation to the upside. Very strong hourly oscillator reading, as you can see here. No divergence. This was a very strong momentum. So from this perspective, I think if there's a 4-hour candle or if there's a bit of a hook back here a few hours from now, that could be a weakness kind of hook back for a move up to retest basically, I would say 120, maybe 119.70 here indeed. The -2 target could be a good one of this upside. So that's my view for today. Hope to see you in the upcoming webinars. Of course, you can find out more information about Admiral Markets through admiralmarkets.com or one of these 4 communication methods I have here listed. Wish you all great trading, of course, and talk to you soon. Cheers.